On this episode of Studio Knowledge, we're talking mixers. Okay, to be a little more specific, we're not talking about actual mix engineers. We're actually talking about mixing boards, mixing consoles. I've been very fortunate to kind of come up in the analog world, and I've been able to work on SSL consoles, and AMEC 9098i is one of my favorite consoles. And even having that scaled down in smaller studios using like Control 24 surfaces. And there's just nothing like working on actual faders, especially getting the right balance when you're dealing with multiple microphones, like on drums or guitar parts, or there's just something about moving physical faders that really just helps the mixing process a lot easier, and it allows me to focus more on feeling the music and playing the console as an instrument. I know that seems cliche because a lot of people say it, but it's true. There is something that you actually kind of let the song breathe more, in my personal opinion, and my own work experience. It's not to say that you can't get a great mix, just using your mouse. A lot of times that's what I have to do when I'm traveling. But one of the other options, the most important things that I think having actual faders be used for, is like what I was saying, getting that good overall balance. And when it comes to automation, you can draw it in with a mouse, but especially with vocals, you're putting more of the personality back into the song by writing faders. I know most of us have the Waves auto fader, and again, that helps out a lot. So if you can't get 8 faders, 24 faders, 72 faders, there is something called the fader port, and that's usually, I think, like around $130. I've seen them for maybe 85 used. It's just one fader, but allows you to kind of scroll through and switch back and forth between faders. And really, to me, the most important thing to use a fader is for automation and on the vocals. We've talked about how the vocals are the most important part of the song, as painful as that is for me to admit as a guitarist and as a drummer. That's what gives the personality, that's what sells the song, that's what people come away humming and singing, or at least that's what we hope, right? So that's an option. Another option is, one of the things I'm using right now is actually my iPad. I'm using a DAW controller, actually called DAW Control. And so I'll have it like on my iPad, and I'll use it a few different ways. This is a $3 app. I think it was $5 when I bought it, but I just checked, it's $3. It gives me 8 faders where I can get a balance. It's not as tactile as actual faders, but it's close enough. And one of the other features that I like to use it for is, especially if I'm tracking drums on my own, I can actually use a transport where I can have it, right next to my drum set. I can hit record, stop, or go to markers or whatever. But it's a handy little tool. And there's a lot of these kind of newer technology where you have motorized faders in a control surface that range, like I said, anywhere from $100 to like the C24. Well, even Avid makes they have the Euphonics controller that has 8 faders, and that's about $1,200. And then as you get bigger, obviously the price goes up. But I really recommend looking into it. If you're not used to using a mixer, find someone who does, or find a studio that will let you kind of come in and just kind of practice with. It really, for me, helps the mixing process a lot smoother, a lot faster, and more enjoyable, to be honest. So I hope this helps, and again, we'll talk soon.